live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, around the world on myjournline.com and all our social media platforms. This is Joy News Prime with me, Samuel Kojo Brace. Coming up, this minority describes as reckless the position of the Electoral Commission that it will not amend its proposed CI, which makes the Ghana card the sole identity document to register as a voter. Also coming up here, human rights groups and activists outraged at a viral video in which a woman is stripped naked, molested and beaten by some resident of a community in the Upper East region. Police says they have arrested 4 suspects, but the activists want speedy prosecution. Also, President Akufo-Addo assures of government's commitment to sustaining power supply despite current energy crisis as he commissions a 161 kilovolt power plant here in Accra. A showdown is expected in Parliament if the Electoral Commission proceed to lay its proposed constitutional instrument without amending it to add other identity document apart from the Ghana card as the sole identity document. Now speaking to Joy News, Director of Electoral Services of the EC, Dr. Serebo Kweku, insisted that they will not heed the unanimous decision of Parliament to amend the proposed CI. But the minority says this position is reckless. We'll hear from the minority shortly, but first, Dr. Serebo Kweku.
One of it is for us to close at 3 o'clock, because we realize that most of the elections, by 1 o'clock, we are almost done. And people do a lot of things under cover of darkness. So we are thinking that even if you have to reduce the number of voters per polling station down again, people say we to have about 2,000 per polling station. In 2020, the maximum was 749. But if you can even bring that one down again, so that we can close around 3 o'clock. So, some of the reforms may need legislative backing. So we have to revise the CI. Some of them are just administrative. So we can, for example, the female one is more of administrative, because the commission that determines, so that deposit to be determined by the Electoral Commission. So the Electoral Commission can determine. We can put in the CI, or we can also use administrative procedure. But if the timing for the voting, that one is a legal issue. So you have to change the law.
The minority have described as reckless the position of the Electoral Commission that it will not amend its proposed CI, which makes the Ghana card the sole identity document to register as a voter. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante reports.
Only last week, the minority leader, Dr. Kiselato Forsen, had told journalists both the NPP and the NDC MPs will come together to annul the proposed CI if it's laid without the amendment proposed by Parliament.
Communicated to them clearly what our views are, referencing that of the CI. We expect them to factor them into the final CI to be submitted. If for any reason they think that that is not the views of the EC and they want to still bring it back, it doesn't mean what they will be bringing to Parliament will be accepted by us. Our position is clear on this matter, so we'll wait for further engagement on this matter.
But it appears the EC is hell-bent on going through Parliament with the proposed CI without the amendments proposed by MPs. Well, NDC MP for North Tongue, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, says the EC will be reckless if it does not heed to the calls from Parliament.
Triboku's statements are most unfortunate and reckless. It's important for him to recognize that the Parliament of Ghana is not a rubber stamp. It's not some dumping ground where you can just bring any CI here and think that it would be passed as you want it. That is why there's the pre-laying process, which has been in existence for decades. And as the Right Honourable Speaker has said, Parliament will assert its authority. And remember that this is a resolution by the House, all sides of the House, the NDC caucus and the MPP caucus, united. There was not a single dissenting view on the matter. So I wonder how the Electoral Commission is going to railroad, take over Parliament, usurp our legislative authority, and have their CI passed. They are just setting the stage for a conflagration, which is totally avoidable. That should not be the approach. So, yes, the Electoral Commission is independent, but being independent does not mean you shouldn't also respect the authority and independence of other arms of government.
A showdown is now expected in Parliament if the Electoral Commission forces its way through to lay its proposed constitutional instrument, which will make the Ghana card the sole identity document to register as a voter. The minority have always served notice, and they were able to get the buy-in of their majority colleagues in recommending to the EC that other identity documents should not be used. As you've heard from the EC, they are not going to listen to that, and they are going to put the CI before Parliament in its current form. Well, both sides are now gearing up that if the EC comes before them without amending and making the guarantor a source of identity, then the EC will face some challenges. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Now, Parliament will be probing the killing of 5 persons by the police in Botiano here in the Greater Accra region. The police described the persons killed as suspected land guards who opened fire on the police first. Some MPs, including MP for the area, Sylvester Tete, have been disputing the account of the police, prompting the Speaker to make this order for a parliamentary investigation. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante has a story.
Of Parliament, Botiano English Yaman from Sylvester Tete called for calm in the face of the killings and called on Parliament to investigate the claims of the police.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of my constituents, we are calling on Parliament to institute an inquiry into the matter because the chiefs and people of Botiano and Kokrobite have rejected the claim by the police. We believe strongly that an inquiry could bring out the truth of this matter and bring calm to the people of my constituency. I will also urge the people of Botiano, Kokrobite, and the surrounding communities to remain calm and continue to be law-abiding as we allow the competent, relevant state agencies to take up the matter and ascertain the veracity or otherwise of the claim.
Ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee, James Agalga, argued that even if the deceased persons were land guards, it was not up to the police to kill them.
If it is indeed true that the 5 persons were actually involved in land guard related activities, was it for the police to shoot them to death or to attempt to apprehend them and bring them to justice? Mr. Speaker, I think that the proper thing that ought to have been done in the circumstances was for the police to have attempted to apprehend the suspects, because our criminal jurisprudence is grounded on the presumption of innocence.
MP for Ebuako South, Samuel Atachina, explained that a parliamentary probe is necessary because the police cannot be trusted to investigate itself.
So the police service inquiries are not enough. But if it becomes a parliamentary inquiry, then they have a new set of individuals, members of parliament, probing the matter. And that is when the members of parliament can finger waywardness in the name of policing, and then deal with the officers who, by every calculation, may be responsible for unlawful killings of individuals.
The second Deputy Speaker of Parliament was presiding, ordered the investigation to be completed and a report submitted to Parliament within a month.
Becoming one repetitive. So we are making the referral to the Committee of Defense and Interior, and we are asking leadership of constitutional and parliamentary affairs to also join the Defense and Interior Committee to look into this matter and report back by the end of this month. Ranking, you are here. I'm giving timelines. By the end of this month, we should have the report so that Parliament can take appropriate.
In the last few years, cases involving the police and the alleged killing of persons they have termed as suspects have come up strongly before Parliament, and MPs have asked Parliament to investigate these claims that have been leveled against the Ghana Police Service. Parliament has now referred this to the Constitutional, Parliamentary and Legal Affairs Committee, as well as the Defense and Interior Committee to look into it. There are those who have concerns that Parliament should not be the forum for such investigations and that they need to be an independent police ombudsman who's supposed to be investigating some of these so-called police excesses. But for now, the police are going to deal with this issue by responding to the parliamentary summons to investigate these claims. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Now, away from Parliament, human rights groups and activists are traged and fuming over a viral video in which a woman is stripped naked, molested, and beaten by some resident of Kupelga in the Upper East region. Although police says it has arrested 4 persons in connection with what it describes as inhumane and degrading, the human rights activists want speedy prosecution. We'll be hearing from them shortly, but first, Maxwell Agbagba has watched the distressing video and describes what he saw. Max, how can you get us to appreciate what you saw in the video?
Well, in the video, Brace, a woman is stripped naked and she sits on the bare floor in just a bra, no underwear. At a point, what we see is that the residents, men, women, children, gathered around her, filming her. At a point, she tries to cover her nakedness by crossing her legs, but the angry residents pulled her legs apart, exposing her private part, and then they started filming. At a point, we see what appeared to be a horsewhip. One of the residents actually used that horsewhip to hit the face of the victim. At that point, she uses her hand to cover her face to soothe the pain. That after she removed it, it was just a bloodied face that we saw. Just when she was on the floor, wondering in trepidation what was happening around her, another man slapped her, in the face. But she was able to gather courage and then run away from the scene naked with a bloodied face. It's
a really distressing experience there. Now, the Ghana police says it has arrested 4 persons in connection with the act. Police earlier assured the perpetrators will be punished. But Mark Shalakbaba, you still have details of the particular statement from the Ghana Police Service. What does it say?
Exactly, Grace. So we are told by the Ghana Police Service that these suspects were arrested in an intelligence-led operation that happened this dawn. A source very close to the Ghana Police Service tells us that it happened sometime around 3 a.m. and the Inspector General of Police and the police hierarchy were awake to make sure that these suspects, these perpetrators, were arrested. We are told that they are currently in the custody of the police. We are also told that the police has deployed a team of psychologists to provide some kind of psychosocial support for the victim we're talking about here. Please.
All right, grateful to you, Maxwell Agbagba, for joining us there. Now, President Akufo-Addo has assured of government's commitment to sustaining power supply despite the current energy crisis. The president gave the assurance at the commissioning of a 161 kilovolt Accra Central Box Supply Point plant on Tuesday morning. The $40 million is a gas-insulated substation that is expected to boost power supply for production in the Central Business District, Accra. There's more in the following report.
The $40 million partnership agreement was signed in 2015 between the government of Ghana and the government of Japan to construct the Accra Central Bulk Supply Point through the Japan International Cooperation Agency. Speaking at the commissioning of the facility, the chief representative of JICA Ghana office, Suzuki Momoko, said the aim of the project is to add some 161 kilovolts to available power supply to the Central Business District.
In fiscal year 2021, the electricity demand of Accra Metropolis reached 923.7 megawatts compared to 776 megawatts in 2018. This project, the Accra Central Bulk Supply Point, is the main substation supplying electricity to Accra's Central Business District, supporting the growing demand of its electricity.
Board Chairman of Gridco Company, Ambassador Kabir Blay Amihe, noted that the new facility is the fourth bulk supply point to be commissioned under the supervision of Gridco.
Today's commissioning of the Accra bulk supply point is the fourth major substation of Gridco to be commissioned by the presidency in the last 18 months. On October 20th, 2021, the President commissioned the Pukwasi BSP, and just a year ago, in June 2022, the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Baumia, commissioned the ultramodern Kaswa substation. Then on 16th October 2022, the President commissioned the all-important strategic Kumasi Kintapo Bogataga 330 kV transmission line at Agumaso in Ashanti region. This is a project that has positively impacted supply of electricity in Ashanti and neighboring regions and boosted power supply to regions in the north and beyond to Burkina Faso.
In his address, President Akufo-Addo underscored the relevance of the facility to business development in the Central Business District.
A visit to Accra's historic Central Business District imprints on the mind the ubiquitous, industrious, hard-working women of Mokola, the strong drive of Kantamantu and Okanshi traders, and the output of several major corporate entities. The power needs of Accra's Central Business District have important implications for our economy. The benefits of this Accra Central bulk supply point, amongst others, are: 1, to reduce transmission and distribution losses; 2, ensure high reliability of electricity supply; and 3, ensure a high level of personnel safety. Now, with the operationalization of the Accra Central bulk supply project, power voltages have become stable.
He also assured of government's commitment to keep power transmission on in the face of the current energy crisis.
I want to reassure all of you that my government will continue to work towards keeping the lights on, in spite of the global dynamics of energy pricing, because the alternative is not an option. We are not going back to doom so. We'll leave that to President Mahama. I'm convinced and confident that our nation is on the right path. Despite our challenges and with God on our side, I have the firm belief that we shall succeed in this enterprise.
The plant in its full operation capacity will augment the government's efforts to meet the growing power demand of the national capital. James Aveji's report, read to you.
Now, traders encroaching roads leading to the Swami roundabout have been asked to vacate their spaces to pave way for the construction of the 4-tier Swami interchange project. Struck by calls to begin the long-awaited project, the Municipal Assembly says the government is committed to fulfilling its promise and will not delay. Love FM's Nana Yadom reports that contractors have moved on site and have begun the preliminary stage of construction.
President Akufo-Addo on October 18, 2022, cut short for construction works to begin on the Swami interchange project. But the construction site soon turned into a hideout for hooligans after the roundabout was cordoned. Residents for several months bemoaned the state of the Swami interchange project site. After months of setbacks, contractors are on site to begin the project. Municipal Coordinating Director John Senyako says the government is fully committed to ensuring the completion of the project.
We are on course. The project has commenced. The contractor has moved to size. They are at the preliminary level, so they are clearing the sideways for the project to commence. So I can see that the much-awaited project is now commencing. Already it has delayed more than, it's about 8 months since the president broke the ground. So no further delays. The contractor is on site, and we really have to help him with this exercise for the work to move on.
According to Mr. Nyako, encroachers will be affected by the demolition exercise to pave the way for the project.
Now that the contractor is moving to site, everything is on course. What probably would delay the project is the demolition, and that is why we are appealing to people to live on their own accord. Otherwise, we normally see when persuasion fails, it is the force that must be applied. But we don't want to get there. We have engaged them. We have given them the platform to live on their own. Like I said, this engagement has started more than 8 months, but we are still engaging them, even to the extent that now that we are starting the project, we still want to do series of announcements to ensure that they have left on their own.
Some motorists are hopeful the project's takeoff will not suffer delays.
When this government came, it promised the people of Kumasi, the people of Ashanti, that it's going to do this in its first term, but it didn't. And this is the time now. Though it's better late than never, but I believe that if it had been done earlier, it would have been very best for the people of Kumasi. You and I know that it carries some political weight, and they think they can get something out of it come 2024.
If they complete the project at any time soon, it will really help us. Ashanti region really needs this project because we are suffering. Some cars are struggling to use this road.
Effective June 14th, traders occupying all 5 major road networks leading to the Swami roundabout would have to evacuate for the long-awaited Swami interchange project. The project is now at its preliminary stage and is expected not to exceed government's initial 36-month proposal. For Joy News, Nana Konadu report.
And here in Accra, I am Samuel Kojo. Braces to watching Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Welcome back from the break. Now, he had been fighting a warrant for his arrest, and after days of eluding capture, Charles Bisu, former secretary to the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, had declared he will turn himself in. It's been barely 6 hours since the special prosecutor officially declared him wanted. Mr. Bisu will turn himself in, but is resolved to fight declaring his innocence and insisting he is not on the run. He says he is ready to defend his record. As you may be aware, his lawyers have in the last 1 week accused the special prosecutor of handling investigations of Mr. Bisu in a military approach. Well, the special prosecutor warned there will be consequences. There is a notice asking for the arrest of Mr. Bisu, but he tells my colleague Blessed Soga that he is not on the run.
Surprise. However, I have not gone AWOL. I'm still in the country. I work in the Western region. As we speak, I'm on route to Accra. I will attend the Special Prosecutor's office. But, in any case, previously I had been invited to the various investigative agencies, as the NIB, which I visited on 2 occasions, the CID, the National Security, pertaining to this problems. The OSP's office itself, I've also been there, I think, twice. So it's not like I am actually running away from attending a meeting at the OSP's office. I asked for time to attend, and I think there was a misunderstanding. I actually abide by the laws of this country, and so I don't think defying the creature of our constitution or the laws of Ghana is the best thing. I've been law-abiding, and so basically I haven't gone missing. I'm in the country, I was in the Western region, so I will attend. And I think that when I attend this, I think it would be further even redeem my image, because we know that for the past 4 or 5 years, with this Galamsey menace, we've been going back and forth where a lot has happened. So I think this is also an opportunity for me to further redeem myself because, as I said, I've been to various regulatory or investigative agencies. I've actually given them statements. So I do not know what the special prosecutor is going to ask me about. I've always been consistent, and I think that the consistency with which I've actually churned out or given information to help them in their investigation would be the same at the OSP office.
What do you think may have accounted for this? Because obviously the OSP may not just move out and publish this in the media looking for you.
Well, they wrote to me, I think a few weeks ago, and I got my lawyers to write back to say that I was actually not indisposed, and that they should give me a few days. And they said they were not going to agree to that, Sasha. Coming on a certain date, which I couldn't because I wasn't feeling well. And then said that later on I heard of an arrest warrant, and then now we have this coming up. But I think all said and done, we're all working in the interest of the country. Once I attend their interview, and then I think we'll come to a conclusion that Ghana must move forward, and that's how I'm feeling. I availed myself to serve the country, and I believe that certain responsibilities come with accountability, and I would avail myself. And I've never, ever run away from the laws of this country. And so I think I just have to correct everyone's impression that Charles Bishop is a fugitive and all that. No, I am not a fugitive. I have not run away. I did not say I was not going to attend. I said I needed time to attend, which was about 2 weeks ago. Then there was a misunderstanding, and then culminated into that.
Okay, I'm taking a look at the charges being leveled against you this time round. Still goes back to your activities at the Inter-Ministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining, charges of corruption.
I don't think there's any charge.
Right.
I don't think there's any charge because I have to first be interviewed first. You understand? So you see, that's the thing that's actually transpiring now. Once you're invited, everybody thinks that you're a criminal or you've been charged. I think we need to correct that and then educate people. Like I said, I've been to BNI and all that, but BNI, now NID, National Security and all that. Some of them, I went in there, they wanted, I was a suspect. I rendered my statement. And I mean, up to now, nothing has happened. I've been to the police, CID, where I gave them my statements. And then later on, I even came home and then prepared certain documentation for them to help them in their investigation. So I don't think it's a thing of me being charged. I have not been charged for any crime. It's an investigation that they are delving into, which I think, yes, the laws of the country allow for that. So to correct that, I haven't been charged.
Right. But the fact still remains that you're one of the most investigated individuals who then served on the Inter-Ministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining. How does that make you feel, the fact that you've been subject to not one, not two, I guess the Office of the Special Prosecutor under a former regime still investigated you? How does that make you feel?
Basically, I mean, for me, I think that once you avail yourself to serve your country, you're responsible, and then you're held accountable for whatever you do. I mean, for me, for it to drag for 4 years and over 4 years, and I mean, up until now, I mean, it hurts me, my reputation, my case, and everything. Because I think with the laws, we should have timelines in investigating certain matters so that the person can, you know, have his or her peace of mind. But then you go in and then investigating the matter, and it can take forever. It can take 10 years. And our society is such that once you've gone in there, everybody sees you as a criminal. You know what I mean? So I haven't gone ill. I'm within the jurisdiction. I would attend, but to answer your question, yes, I so sad that from 2019, an investigation has gone up until now, where I've written about 3 or 4 petitions, asking as to where we've gotten to, and you get no reply, and then it goes on and on and on and on. That's, I mean, worrying. But then it comes with the responsibility that I was given, and I have to be accountable for it. But I don't think that's the norm everywhere, or that's what transpires everywhere, but I will avail myself.
And you seem to have some issues with the Special Prosecutor himself in respect of this case that's before him. You feel he's conflicted?
I'm not going to answer questions as to that, because the more we're talking, the more people are misconstruing our interviews, you see. I mean, the crux of you calling me was ascertain if I haven't. I'm within the jurisdiction. I've also said that one, I abide by the rules of this country, and I've also given examples of abiding by the rules of this country that I've been to NIB on 2 occasions, the CID, National Security, rendered some of them as suspects, and then nothing came out. Some of them, I wrote my statement to support what you're doing, and as a Ghanaian, I think that's part of my civil duty, and I would actually stick to that. But I'm not going to talk about conflict with somebody else. I just for the other authorities or whatever to decide.
Okay. So, I'll grant you that, but what we cannot take away from you as well is that you're a politician and you're seeking to run for office. Given what's happening to you now, you suspect foul play, or you feel it's just a natural process, it will all grind away?
You're going around the garden and you're in the back door, aren't you? I've just answered you.
You're a politician. You're running for office. That's what I'm asking.
That's not about politics. It's, we are communicating here. You asked me a question. I've answered you. I think you're going around the back door. It's not about being a politician. I've answered the question.
Will this deter you from the goal you have? For instance, you in the Western region, obviously as part of your engagements with the grassroots of your party. Are you stopping that dream?
No. It would not deter me, because I know within me that I haven't committed any crime. With the investigation that started in 2019, which is very unfortunate, even that I was the regional secretary. I've been the regional secretary in the Western region for 8 years, a presidential staffer. I've been a government communicator. You see, when I go to, for example, go and sit, I've been projecting the government and the MPP government and then defending it as well. If I should go and sit before the television and then start talking, when I knew that I have certain iniquities or things that I've done against the state, I think it wouldn't augur well. It would be like insulting the Ghanaian populace. So within me, I know I am so much innocent. That's if I had that boldness to say on television, sometimes your television says, and all that to, project our government. So I am innocent. I know that, and I do not know what the Special Prosecutor is going to ask. It's an investigation. It doesn't mean that you're charged for something. So I will avail myself. But to conclude, I am within the jurisdiction. I haven't been anywhere.
Okay,
I will go to the office.
Well, it's great to know that. If there's anything you're leaving the people of Ghana with, particularly those who are watching us now, what would you want them to know?
I've said it. I am innocent. I have gone nowhere. I'm within the jurisdiction. I'm going to attend, and then whatever information they require to aid their work, I will.
And to other stories now, and some key pioneers and actors in the Ghanaian media have identified major flaws in the 1992 constitution, leading to abuse of power by successive government, which they say are stifling the democratic growth of the country. They are pointing to the size of government, excessive powers given to the president, and composition of the National Media Commission, and over-centralization of power, among others, as a major threat to democracy. According to them, if these defects in the constitution are not corrected, it may dwindle the fortunes of the country in future. We can now listen to editor of the Daily Insight newspaper, Kwesi Pratt Jr., who was among other media personalities sharing their views on the constitutional seminar on reviewing Ghana's 1992 constitution on the views of the media, organized by the Institute of Economic Affairs.
Our key proposal would be to 1. Dissolve considerable executive powers down to the district assemblies, where they can be performed more effectively and more accountably. And this proposal links directly with the function and operation of the legislature and local government. The president, assisted by ministers, should also directly manage the following: international relations, national defense, central planning, finance and central banking, national infrastructure, higher education, special creative health care. She or he should also oversee commissions responsible for setting standards, licensing, and monitoring the performance of devolved government services like basic education, primary health care, and local clinical care, agriculture and natural resources, public safety, sports and culture, and elections. In general, we also need the following: provisions for political parties to exercise a right of recall on presidents who renege unreasonably on sponsoring political party policy positions set out in a manifesto or party constitution, or who otherwise breach their oath of office. Complete separation of legislative and executive branches of government so Parliament can play its watchdog role effectively. A reduction in the number of institutions whose heads and governing bodies are appointed by the President. A limit to the number of Article 70 appointees. Changes to the system for fixing emoluments in Article 71 to make these a simple, permanent multiple of basic salaries in the public sector, and separation of the functions and persons of the Attorney General, who happens to be the government lawyer, and Minister of Justice, Manager of Prosecutions and Law Enforcement Agencies.
Now, a 32-year-old who allegedly stabbed her fiancé to death at Eija Zongo in the Ashanti region is on the run as police begin investigations. The suspect, Jennifer Appiah, went berserk during a misunderstanding that ensued between herself and Joseph Bauer, resulted in her stabbing him to death. Family of the deceased wants the suspect brought to book. Love FM's Nana Konadu visited the family home and a report.
The deceased, Joseph Bauer, was stabbed with a knife multiple times by his fiancée. He was rushed to the Tech Hospital for treatment but passed on. The suspect, Jennifer Appiah, went berserk during a misunderstanding that ensued between the two on Sunday, June 11th.
What happened on Sunday is surprising. She killed him even after we tried to reconcile them.
According to the mother of the deceased, Hawa Al-Hassan, the family tried to resolve the feud between the partners, but the reconciliation process proved abortive. Jennifer and Joseph resumed fighting on the street, which resulted in her stabbing him to death.
You live with my son, but anytime a fight ensues, the lady would pick up a knife or scissors.
The body of the deceased has since been deposited at the Tech Hospital's morgue for investigations to commence. The family of the deceased wants the police to bring the suspect to book.
Someone happy when the gates no no say Adam for no crowd
They arrested her friends, but they later left them. They should arrest the lady and put her in jail forever.
Police for no one share mammy. The infant Colana and Peso Mochino. None life when your life for prison won't be able. Because we'll be a open party. We'll be a team I try by mammy now. Say, what told the animal would be now? Simba cool. What's never outside?
For Joy News, Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings, Kumasi.
Well, time for us to do showbiz, and Becky Bex in the house. Do you have another? Yeah,
no, like there's nothing happening today. But good news for Ghana and the high life genre.
Mm-hmm.
I am very
elated. Yeah.
High life has made it onto the Grammys category. So the Recording Academy of the Grammy Awards has created a new category for music from Africa. This comes out of news probe that the scheme was considering creating a category for Afrobeats to represent music from Africa. The Chief Executive Officer of the Recording Academy, Harvey Mason Jr., upon his visit to Ghana in 2022, reiterated a move and mentioned how meticulous they were in getting the right representation for African music. The Best African Music Performance category is one of the 3 new slots that have been added to the 2024 edition of the prestigious award scheme. The other 2 are the Best Alternative Jazz Album and Best Pop Dance Recorded Music genres that form part of this category include Ghanaian Drill and High Life. Best African Music Performance category as a track and singles category that recognizes recording that utilize unique local expression from across the African continent, highlighting regional melodic, harmonic, and rhythmic musical traditions. The category includes, but is not limited to, the Afrobeats sound. So that's the good news, Brace, for Ghana. Also, let's talk about somebody who has, championed drill music. I'm talking about Yao Talk. He is on Spotlight this evening. He says that he'll be releasing an album very soon. Yao Talk.
I'm just working and growing, because when I came into the scene, I was a young boy, so now it's just new level, new stage, new album, get ready, Young and Matured is coming. I'm dropping a song on 15th, it's the 15th June, Obra, get ready, featuring Roy from South Africa.
Is the album ready for release?
It's ready, 100%.
So apart from, you're releasing a track on the 15th, right?
Yeah,
from the album?
Yeah, from the album.
When is the whole album coming out?
Expecting in like two months time.
2 months time.
Yeah, after the single song.
What is on Young and
Matured?
Young and Matured. What do you have on it?
I have growth on it. I have plenty of things as a matured person. You get me? So it's a full album, big body. Get ready. I don't want to talk a lot about it, because I've put a lot of work in it. So much work, so I just want you guys to just keep on supporting. I'm dropping that body soon, all day.
This particular track, do you have Stormzy on it? Are you having anything to do with Stormzy on this album or any subsequent thing?
Just get ready, I don't want to talk about it a lot, you get me, because it's a body of work, a big one. So much pain, stress, tears, everything is in it. So just get ready for me, Yao Talk is coming, young boo.
Yeah.
Well, Yao Talk right there. We cannot wait, Brace, for that particular album. And also, there's a single, and there's a single to that effect. So we're waiting for that particular single as well. Congratulations to you, Yao Talk. We miss you. You have to come back. But this is we're recommending that particular movie, The Perfect Fine, for everyone. It comes out this Friday. No, it's actually on the 23rd of this month. So that's...
Perfect what?
The Perfect Find.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully I'll find my perfect one. Perfect Find. But let's congratulate Hilda Bassi, because the Guinness World Records on Tuesday officially updated their records to include Hilda for breaking the longest cooking marathon by an individual. From Thursday, May 11 to Monday, May 15, Hilda cooked over 100 pots of food during her 4-day kitchen stint. Although the chef had attempted to make the records 100 hours, her final records was at 93 hours, 11 minutes. The Guinness World Record explained that almost 7 hours were deducted from her final total because she mistakenly took extra minutes for one of her rest breaks early on in attempt.
But I hear another Nigerian chef.
Yeah.
has even crossed 100 hours now.
He should relax. let's finish celebrating Hilda.
Oh yeah. I thought she should have allowed Hilda
so that we can all come or draw our attention.
She's breaking it too early. But let's see.
Relax. But for more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com/entertainment. That's where you find all the news, Brace, and also you have to remember to log on to obviously the entire myjoyonline.com for every other news. Entertainment comes first.
All right. Okay, that's making for you. Coming up next is Prime Business with Beverly Broom. Thanks for your company. Good evening.